Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. Welcome to Daily Reflections with Chris, and I'm your host, Chris. So thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. What I do here is share my experience, strength, and hope with you guys as it pertains to my recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction and other things, right? Other isms that I've been having to work through, that I have been growing out of, that I've been healing from, that have really helped me just live the life that I've always wanted to live. So for the purpose of this, just to kind of help me out with these videos, I use this book. It's called Daily Reflections. That's why it's called Daily Reflections with Chris. I'm kind of thinking of changing my YouTube channel name, but I'm not sure yet. So more shall be revealed, right? Okay, so for today, it's April the 10th, and the title of today's entry is called Growing Up. The essence of all growth is a willingness to change for the better, and then an unremitting willingness to shoulder whatever responsibility this entails. And that's from As Bill Sees It, page 115. Sometimes when I become willing to do what I should have been doing all along, I want praise and recognition. I don't realize that the more I'm willing to act differently, the more exciting my life is. The more I'm willing to help others, the more rewards I receive. That's what practicing the principles means to me. Fun and benefits are for me in the willingness to do the actions, not to get immediate results. Being a little kinder, a little slower to anger, and a little more loving makes my life better day by day. My God. When I read this, so yesterday, I went to San Antonio to hang out with my friend, one of my best friends, Yaya. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I didn't realize the wash was going to be so loud. So I turned it off. So yesterday I was in San Antonio. I went to visit my friend Yaya, and we love to read the Daily Reflections over breakfast, and we hadn't done it in a while, and yesterday was a good opportunity to do that. So, brought some breakfast over, make some eggs, and I busted out this book, right? And just for kicks, I said, you know what, I'm gonna read tomorrow's. And she's like, okay. So I read yesterday, and man, we just had like a really good conversation about growing up. Just how interesting it's been for us, and kind of even in growing up, we watch others do it. They don't do it quite, we watch others do it, and it's like, wow, some of it looks awkward, some of it just looks painful, and some of it is like, I would perceive it as they're not doing it right? So yesterday, just because of where we were, I realized that I'm still growing up. I still have a lot of things to grow up about, and the stuff that I've seen in others, now I can see in myself. It's like, whoa, you remember when you used to talk about that guy, or you remember when that guy was or that girl was in a position, and you were looking at it from the outside? Well, now you're in the inside and you can't see it. But if you recall when they were growing up, the kind of stuff that they went through, and the kind of tools that they used, and the kind of options and they had, and decisions that were made, wrong or right doesn't matter. It's just like today we have options and decisions that we didn't have before. We have a choice to grow up or to stay the same, to be kind or to be a jerk, to be loving or not loving, to fill up our spirit with awesomeness, or fill it up with hate and anger. And I'm so grateful that although I was that one person at one time, man, when I was drinking and drugging, I would hold a grudge for days. That's fear, anger, resentment. That's all the stuff that was just eating me up at the core, in my center. It was just like eating me up from the inside out. And coming in here and learning not just about myself, but about what was really happening about this thing called alcoholism, that I had this disease that once I would start drinking, I couldn't stop even when I wanted to. I had a mind that would tell me like, it's all right, you're not that bad, man, just keep drinking, don't worry about it, you're young, live it up. And I would fall prey to that. And before you know it, I couldn't stop even when I wanted to. And my mind would say, live it up. And then I would drink. And then it would say, you ain't worth it. See, I psyched you out. Look what you did. I mean, it would just like turn its back on me left and right. The disease, right? Because it centered in my mind. And I didn't know that. I didn't know how that was happening. And once I started to learn about it, you know, through reading the big book and through what people share with me, once I started to learn what it really means to be alcoholic, I said, man, a lot of stuff started to make sense. Even though a lot of stuff still didn't, a lot of stuff started to make sense. So when I finally had made the decision to stop drinking, man, I was like, okay, just don't put a drink in your system, Chris, and you won't start up the manifestations of alcoholism. But I couldn't stay stopped because I had been drinking for so long, and I had done so much damage to my body already that it wanted the alcohol. It was begging for it. It was trying to trick me into drinking. So what did I need? I need a solution that works under all circumstances, right? I needed the program of recovery that Alcoholics Anonymous gave me. I mean, they gifted me this program. They said, here. They didn't charge me nothing for it. They said, it is free. I mean, they do a 7 tradition basket to keep the lights on and the water, you know, the toilet bowl's flushed and coffee on the pot. Yeah, they do pick up a little bit of funds because we're self-supporting now, right? Now we're grown-ups. We're growing up. We're becoming responsible for ourselves, what we eat and what we drink. We're no longer looking for a free ride. Any you know, just trying to ride the wave. We become responsible because at first because we have to, but then because we want to. I want to be responsible for myself. I want to be able to give back what this program gave to me. So reading this book, and I was like, man, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? That change, first of all, I'm willing to change. Like, there's a lot of things you guys have been with, that have been on my journey, have heard me say a million times, I want to be different. I want it to be different. I've always been wanting to be different. And not because I think I'm a horrible person, but because there's things that I still want, right? That I feel like I want to be ready to receive them, 1, and 2, I don't want to screw it up like I've been, right? And 3, I have goals. I have these dreams that I've always had, even as a kid, that they're coming to pass. They're coming into realization, right? So with that, it's like, I can't stay the same. I can't stay the same if I want to have that, right? So it's a willingness to change for the better, right? And an unremitting willingness to shoulder whatever responsibility this entails. That means that if I'm in prayer and God says you're not gonna go, then I'm not gonna go. If He says you're going, then I'm going. Whether I want it, whether that feels good, or not, has nothing to do with it, because it doesn't always feel good. It feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable. It feels wrong sometimes. But I've never been here. I've never stood up for myself. I've never tried to do what was right. I've never loved somebody unconditionally. I've never had total respect for somebody. I've never showed up to work on time. You know, these little things that I've never done that I'm finally wanting to do feels different. It feels like, whoa, because I've never done it before. And they told me it would feel that way. I remember one time I called one of my sponsors and I said, man, I'm bored. He's like, you're bored? And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, there's like I mean, it's weird. It's like, there's no drama in my life. He's like, Chris, he's like, that's what you call peace, man. He says, now go enjoy your day. Stop trying to mess it up. And I was like, whoa, that's what it's called. This is what it feels like. Wow. I didn't know that that's what it felt like. And little by little, I started to really choose drama less. And I love to just the freedom that I thought that I was getting by drinking and drugging and doing whatever the heck I wanted to, and not listening to the grown-ups or not listening to the people around me, or rules, or coming in when I wanted to, thinking that I was, all these ways that I was, while I was still very active in my addiction, I realized that it's so unnecessary. And it wasn't really living. As a matter of fact, it was dying, it was ruining, and it was depressing, it was taking, it was depleting me. You know, all those actions that I thought was living it up was actually dying it down. And I didn't realize that until I came here, was able to experience this peace and this joy of just doing nothing, of just sitting, of just hearing, of just hanging out, of just having a conversation. And we don't even have to gossip about anybody. Just having that one-on-one conversation with my friend yesterday was like, it was such a gift to me. And we both talked about stuff in the past, stuff in the present, and what it would take to continue this in the future. Is like, we got to make decisions we don't have to make, have conversations that are hard. And I'm willing to do that because I want to get there. I want to have good communication skills. I want to be able to write a really good letter. Those are the things that I want. They sound simple. Maybe people already do them, and it's no big deal. But for me, it is a big deal to be able to communicate in a way that people can understand, to be able to be, to be able to communicate what it is that I want, or that I feel, or that I think I need. To be able to not be, to be free from what are people going to say, who's going to leave me, who's going to stay. To be free from that fear is like, man, it's just like, it's a gift, feels like a benefit, it's like a reward, it's like the result of working the 12 steps, which is the program of recovery, right? So further down it says here, the more I'm willing to help others, the more rewards I receive. I don't know. One time I got a $5 gift card at H-E-B just for making a lady's day, and she went and she had to tell somebody how wonderful I made her day. So yeah, that was a monetary reward, but I just did it because at that moment, I just really wanted to just be of service to her. I just wanted to help her find whatever it is she was looking for, and be able to express myself completely without reservation. And I wasn't, a jerk to her. As a matter of fact, she said I made her day, that I made her laugh, and that I made her experience, at the H-E-B a good one. And stuff like that. It's like, wow. I wasn't able to do things like that before that day. It took a lot of courage to change stuff that I could change. It took a lot of willingness to want to be different. It took a lot of self-analysis of myself and how I'd been. I mean, it took some work. And it's interesting. I always try to picture the world like as a puzzle, right? And all these pieces are moving every day. Sometimes they move a little bit to the left. Sometimes they go right. Sometimes they go way to the edge over there, far away from where I am, right? But these pieces are always moving. And to think that, that my higher power, who I choose to call God, was moving all these pieces, every single little piece, when the store opened, when she decided to go in, what house she was in, what I was doing there when we met and we had that interaction. All that work that I had already done, so that when I got to her that day, that I was going to make her day, that I was going to make her laugh, that I was going to be of service to her, and that she felt so intoxicated by how good the interaction was that she wanted to go and tell somebody else about it. To me, that's a lot of work for that one moment, but to God, it's like nothing, right? But can you imagine just all that work for that one moment, that one interaction? My God, to me, that is so amazing. So amazing. That blows my mind. And it blows my mind consistently when they take you into the office and they tell you, Chris or Sarah or Melissa or Amber or Jason or Michael, we have a position open and we want to offer it to you. Before, you didn't wake up that day thinking that you were going to get a promotion. You didn't even think the evening before that. You didn't wake up that day thinking that they were going to ask you to be in the office. You didn't wake up that day thinking that you were going to, show up to work as a sub and leave work as the supervisor. Things like that sometimes are unmanageable. We can't imagine them, right, with our own limited minds. And then you get there and all these parts are moving. All these people are quitting. People are showing up. People are seeing. People are not seeing. You're being hid. You're being looked at. Everything. All this has happened for that one moment where they say, we have a position and we want to give it. It happens all the time. All the time. And that's what practicing the principles means to me. It meant it to this person who wrote this, and it means that to me. I get such joy. I get a thrill of just helping somebody. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It feels good inside. Do I get into ego where I want recognition and accolades and look at me? Yeah, I mean, those have been some of my major struggles in the past. But when breakthrough happens, man, it just happens. It's like, I got free of that. And I'm so grateful because I can show up to my job and do a really good job and help others along the way and have really good conversations and make friends and not enemies and be open to what the universe has for me instead of being closed off in anger, resentment, and fear and jealousy and envy and who's doing what with who and what time that is and what time that and why is this happening. Instead of all those, and it's okay to question stuff. I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm just saying for me, it put me in a really toxic place because that stuff that I was questioning was none of my business. Is my pay my business? Yeah. Is my hourly rate my business? Yes, it is. How I get paid, is that my business? Absolutely. But it's not my business of what they're getting paid versus what I'm getting paid. It's none of my business why they get moved up and I don't. It's none of my business why everybody likes that person and nobody likes them. Stuff like that brings about change, but it's not about them. It's about me. It's about Chris. What does Chris want? What does Chris want to do with his life? How does Chris want to live the rest of his life? Folks, we only get one life. One. That's it. When that finally hit me, when it really hit me that I only have one life, I decided, oh my God. When I croak, I croak. This life, I want to live it to the fullest. I want to do everything that I can do, everything that I want to do. I want to have the freedom to do the stuff that makes me happy. I want to love who I want to love. I want to dress the way I want to dress. I want to talk the way I want to talk. I want to make these videos. I want to help somebody. I want to fulfill my dreams and my personal desires to be the man that I've always wanted to be the person that God built me to be, and stop going in the opposite direction of hope, the opposite direction of love, the opposite direction of companionship, the opposite direction of intimacy, the opposite direction of friendship, the opposite direction of family, the opposite direction of human kindness. I was doing everything opposite of that before I got here. And it was taking me to hell. Quickly, folks. It says right here, fun and benefits for me are in the willingness to do the action. Life is so much nicer when I'm willing to do it. When I had this, it reminded me, that particular sentence reminded me of one of my greatest teachers. And she always says, and I forget, so this reading helped me to be reminded, that she says, never do anything you don't want to do. She said, but if you have to do something that you don't want to do, have fun doing it. And I love that. I love that. You know how many times that has just saved me from guilt and shame of just not doing things that I don't want to do? Let me say, it's not out of me. When I want to do, when I do something, if it's not out of me, if I'm tired, if it doesn't feel like the right thing to do, I'm like, okay, you don't want to do it, Chris. So it's okay if you don't do it right now. You might still do it later. You might change your mind, right? It might be born inside here, the wanting to do it, right? The willingness to just the passion, or just whatever it needs to happen in here for it grows inside of me to put me in a position to be like, okay, I want to do it now. I'm ready. I want to do it now. And then I do it. But there are some things that I got to do even when I don't want to do. And those are the things that she suggests. Okay, you don't want to do it, but you have to do it. So have fun doing it. And that helps me a lot, especially at work, because there are some things that I don't want to do. So I just tell myself, well, you don't want to do this, but you have to do it. So might as well have fun doing it. And that has also changed my life a lot, because it really freed me from a lot of the guilt and shame that I was having. Man, Chris, you don't want to do it because you're a bad guy, because you think you're too good, no, I just don't feel like doing it. Doesn't mean I'm a horrible person. Doesn't mean I'm lazy. It just means I don't want to do it. Only a person like me can take something so simple like that and really overthink it and tear it up piece by piece and make a whole bunch of what it's about when it's not. It's not about that. It's just, I just don't want to do it right now. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard sometimes when I live my life like this to give people a lot of excuses of why I don't want it, or to justify it, because sometimes I don't know. I don't have a justification or an excuse. It's just, I don't feel like doing it. And not for any reason, it's just, just not right now. And some of the stuff, once I'm ready, it grows on me. It's like, oh, you know what? I think I do want to do it. I do want to do it. I'm going to do it right now. Like right now is the time. And those of you who are asking, well, what does that look like? What does it look like in real life? Cleaning. Cleaning is my number one. It's like, I have had so many people get on to me about my cleaning, right? And I don't think like I'm a really dirty dude. Is there some stuff that I wait till last minute, or I'm not big on? Yeah, there is. Man, but when I feel like cleaning, my God, I'll open every cabinet. I'll clean out the microwave. I'll clean the stove. I'll take everything out the refrigerator. I'll wash all the dishes and dry them and put them up. I'll wash all the countertops, and then I'll sweep them up and take the trash out. I mean, like, that's what it looks like when Chris feels like doing it, right? When he don't want to do it, but he has to do it, so he has fun doing it. What does that look like? Playing music while I wash the dishes. Get me through this. Come on, because they got to be washed. It's really not that hard. Once I start applying some of this stuff to real life situations, it's easy to go into a group and make coffee and push the chairs in and clean the tables and do like that. And I even at work, it's easy to go to work and take out your trash and wipe down your work area or whatever, make everything look pretty. But for me at home, it's a whole different world, completely. Oh man, I'm so grateful for my life. It's really, really good today. Right here it says, being a little kinder, a little slower to anger, a little more loving makes life better day by day. Today I was I just happened to have my earbuds on at work, and I was listening to my pastor, and then she was done. So all these other like videos come up, right? And I think it was, I don't know if it was TTJ. No, I think it was Joyce Meyer. Somebody was on there. Joyce Meyer, maybe. I don't know. Somebody was on there, and they were like, it's easy to love the people that love you back. But what about when you're asked, when God's asked you to love the people that don't love you back? When it's asked to love the people that you can't stand. And she made me realize that, because I was like, yeah, it is easy to love. It's easy to love the people that love me back. But it's hard for me to love those that don't. And I've been really working on that lately, because chances are I might have an opportunity to be the leader of a lot of people. And I'm going to be able to get along with every single one of them. And I don't mean tolerate. I mean, actually, authentically, for real, love these people. Love them so much that I'm willing to give them the tools, the gift, to share the gift, to help them learn, to teach them how to be the person that they want to be, that they've always wanted to be, that they've dreamed of being, that they thought they could never be. And I don't think that I could teach them really, really hard, these huge hard skills. I mean, like, I'm really horrible at computers, right? But I don't know, you just never know. It could be one simple sentence that could totally change their outlook, or change it enough for them to get out of the funk that they're in, or to break down that wall that's in front of them that they have no clue, one, that it's there, or two, to even what to do with it, right? They just know that they're trying really hard and nothing's coming about. And lucky for them and lucky for you, I've been there. I've been there where I've been trying so hard and nothing comes about, and I just think like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get this right. What am I doing wrong? And there's a real famous saying that comes to my mind every time I ask myself those questions. I think about something that's said a lot, and what I think about is this phrase. It says, "Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it." You know those videos where you wait all the way to the end because it says wait for it? And it's just like, man, I'm glad I waited for it. That was good. And the next time you see wait for it, it's like, okay, let me wait for it. Well, that's what that's what a spiritual life looks like. It's just wait for it, wait for it. It's coming. Don't worry. You just keep filling up your soul. You just keep doing the next right thing. You just keep doing things for the fun of it. You just keep, don't worry about nothing else. Just wait for it, wait for it. Yesterday was, Easter Sunday, and man, I was blessed all day. All day, from the time I left my house to the time I came back home. Blessings, I mean, you're talking about blessings upon blessings upon blessings. One on the heel of the other. Things are gonna happen so fast, you won't even be able to keep up, or something like that. It's almost 9:13. I haven't read it in a while, so I don't know it word for word. It's Amos 9:13. 9:13 for those of you who read the Bible. And it talks about that, blessings upon blessings. And man, how many times have I cried in these videos? How many times have I talked to you about how I'm just waiting and it's like never happened, and then one day you wake up and not expecting nothing. You're just enjoying your day, ready to take a road trip and see your friends, and people are just blessing you left and right for no reason whatsoever. It was one of those days for me. It was like, good day, my God, it was a good day. And maybe I didn't talk about anything about growing up, but folks, if you take at least one suggestion from me today that I've shared with you at any point in this video, you will grow up. Will it always be easy? No. Sometimes you'll even have to grow up in front of a lot of people. But guess what? The rewards are amazing. You know, there was a part, and it talks about like Here we go. I'm going to reread this, okay? Just one sentence. It says, fun and benefits from your and the willingness to do the action. So we talked a little bit about that, right? And then it goes on to say not to get immediate results. Have you ever been? I know I've been. And maybe you haven't been, but maybe when you get there, you will remember. This is what I'm going to share with you. Sometimes you grow in front of people. I mean, you have this, maybe not all of it completely was your part, but you have a humiliating experience where you just have to, I mean, you can't, there's no way to get around. You grow in front of people. Sometimes a lot of people. You might feel guilt or shame or embarrassment or whatever. It might not feel good in that moment. I mean, obviously, if you're stretching, it doesn't always feel good, right? It's happened to me, and I've heard it happen. It's happened to other people. Even though that moment didn't feel good. As a matter of fact, when it happened to me, it was painful. So painful that I even cried through most of it. I wanted to quit. I wanted to get up. I wanted to run so hard and so fast. Because I felt like I couldn't face it. I couldn't face those people again. Or I wasn't ready to able to admit that I was wrong sometimes. I felt bad that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. You know, those really, really humiliating situations where like, whoa. And it's in front of people and everybody's watching you. Some people are making fun of you. Some people are like, I knew it. I knew Chris. I knew what he was going to do. That don't surprise me. Some people are like that. And you know that once in a while, there'll be one, two, maybe two, but at least one person in the corner be like, man, he took it like a champ. He took it like a freaking champ. And when that happens to me, I hope I remember how he took it like a champ, how he stood there and didn't fall prey to what was going on. But to watch him grow inspired me. It's only happened a few times to me, folks. It really hasn't happened to me a lot. But just know that when you're growing, it's not going to always look like we want it to look. It's not always going to be just about marking our heights on a wall or buying a bigger pant size or getting married. I mean, the healing is inside, internally, in your soul, in your heart, where it used to be black and chained up and now it's like pink and probably a little bit red sometimes and beating as fast as it can. Those are the benefits of growth. Those are the results of growing. Sometimes it's a sudden impact and sometimes we bring it on ourselves, right? But that's okay. We're humans. I think we're supposed to go through that once in a while. So maybe you're going through change. Maybe you just had a humiliating experience. Maybe you're growing and you don't want to grow no more because you're tired of the lessons that you're having to learn. I've been there. So maybe you're feeling that way. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you just don't know. Maybe you're just not sure. I just want to tell you and let you know that you're not alone. Somebody else is feeling the same way. Somebody else has been through that already. Somebody else is watching you right now and being inspired by it. So just give yourself an opportunity. Grow from it if you can, whatever the situation is. I can't say don't grow for it don't grow from it if you can, because for people like us to not grow is to die. You have to continue growing, just like the plants, just like the grass, just like the flowers, just like the trees. You know, you ever had a plant and it's like, oh yeah, that one only shows up every once in a while, like every 3 months. Looks dead, but it's not. It's just doing its thing, and in a couple of months it'll be all green and you know, standing tall. That's like us. That's so like us. So folks, I hope that I encourage somebody. I hope that I help somebody. Please, if you feel like somebody could really use this word, please share it with them. You can share. You can copy the link, share it on a text message. If you want to do it privately, you can share it on your YouTube channel. You can share it on your Facebook page. Just share it with somebody. You never know who might need this word today. This is a message of hope and experience. We might never know, but we might change somebody's life. Just talked about it today. So I hope that you share it, comment, and like, please, if you are also able and willing to. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I don't get a lot of comments on these videos, but when I do, I get a little excited because somebody took the time to comment. And I just want to say thank you for those who comment on my posts, on my YouTube videos. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, folks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you again soon.